Here's an updated guide on how you're going to do the main Easter egg quest in the Call of Duty Black Ops X Zombies map, Terminus. The loadout I would recommend for you to start with is Ether Shot as your field upgrade. You can never go wrong with that, but this is a big map, so if you're playing with multiple people, then Healing Aura is also a good option, especially if you don't have Gobblegums like Nowhere But There, Phoenix Up, and whatnot. And for your loadout weapon, I would recommend the Maelstrom with these attachments. This gun absolutely shreds the boss fight if you take it in with at least a double Pack-a-Punch and an epic rarity, at the bare minimum. But if you can get it to legendary rarity and get it to triple Pack-a-Punch, you are more than good for this boss fight. Just don't fuck up. And for lethals and tacticals, honestly, this isn't really that serious. Like, it's not going to change your whole game depending on what tactical or lethal you bring out. So I'll just say bring a decoy for your tactical, and for your lethal, bring out a Molotov. And for melee weapons, get a little whimsical with it and bring anyone you want out, or maybe even one you need to level up, because these don't really play a big part in this. If you are running solo for Gobblegums and you have some you want to use and not hoard, because I used to hoard Gobblegums like crazy until the next game came out, and then I never touched them again. Let that thought sit with you for a second. Anyways, I would recommend a Perkaholic so that you don't have to waste any money on perks and you can get your guns upgraded way faster and buy doors quicker. A free fire for this boss fight can really come clutch, especially if you're rocking the Maelstrom. Idolize can come in handy too for you, because in one of the last steps you will have to defuse 3 bombs and you're going to have your hands completely tied with that. So if you're by yourself, I would recommend that for that step alone. Shields Up is also a good one to have to be extra safe during the boss fight. And then I would also recommend having a power keg or a Killjoy gum at your disposal. And for anyone who doesn't know this yet, you can actually create multiple Gobblegum packs, and I believe you can make up to 5 packs in total, meaning you can have 25 Gobblegums at your disposal during the game, since you can switch between packs in game, which is what I do. So it's not really hard for me to choose which Goblins I really need during a game. If you're running multiplayer and you're only running one pack, then I suggest Nowhere But There, Phoenix Up, Near Death Experience, Perkaholic, and Idolize. But there are plenty of other valid options you can also go in with, but I'm just saying these 5 based off of if you're only going in with one pack. Anyways, once you start the game, the first thing you need to do is turn on the power, and to do that you need to turn on 3 generators, and one is going to be at spawn right here in front of Peck's office, and the second one is going to be where the Jug perk machine sits nearby here, and it'll be right here, and the third one is going to be a bit further down the map in the lab underground right over here, and you just need to do a little defense step for each one as you power them on one by one, and you'll see a time limit on your screen for how long you have to do it for. And then once you complete each one successfully, you'll see the next door open up for the first 2 that you did, and for the third one in the lab, the power will be completely on, and you will now be instructed to dive into the water right here and activate the lift to come back up, and you will now be able to Pack-a-Punch your weapon with the machine now being resurfaced. The next step of this Easter egg is like other maps, and that's right, you guessed it, you need to get the map's wonder weapon, which is the Beam Smasher. There are a few ways you can get it. One is by getting it through the mystery box, but that is very, very rare considering that there are now 3 wonder weapons in the map, with the ray gun and the ray gun Mark II, and then the map specific wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher, which is the one we're trying to get for right now. Even with the Wonder Bar Gobblegum, you have a roughly 33% chance of getting the specific wonder weapon, with there being 3 different ones now. If you are going to go the box route with the Wonder Bar Gum, then I recommend that you also equip a Respin Cycle Gum as well with it. So that is the epic rarity Gobblegum that looks like this, and if you have this with your Wonder Bar, let me spell it out for you. Pop your Wonder Bar Gobblegum and then go hit the box, and if the wonder weapon isn't the one that you want, then while the weapon is still in the box, quickly pop your Respin Cycle, and it's going to respin the box and give you a weapon of the same rarity or higher. So in this case, another wonder weapon, but beware because it may also give you the same wonder weapon twice, so that's an L you possibly will have to hold. Anyways, the second and guaranteed way of getting this map's wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher, is by building it piece by piece. So I'm sure all of you know that in almost every zombies map you can build the wonder weapon for free, and even if you went the box route, I'm still going to show you how you can build the wonder weapon for free in this video. So if you already have it, then you can skip a little ahead onto the video to the next step to get started on that. Now once you turn on the power and resurface Pack-a-Punch, you need to equip the Dead Wire ammo mod onto one of your weapons, and once you do, you want to head onto the lift where Pack-a-Punch sits and take it to the higher floor by interacting with this machine right here, and it will cost 500 essence. And this is where you need to be mindful of time, because you only have one shot of doing this on this ride, otherwise you're going to have to take the lift back down and back up again to try again. Now as the lift is going up, I want you to aim this way where I am, and there's going to be a fuse box that you need to shoot with the Dead Wire weapon, and don't worry, you don't have to worry about if the Dead Wire is charged on your weapon or not. Just as long as you have it equipped, you're good. Anyways, shoot this box that will become visible as the lift goes up a little more, and then right away as you shoot that, you'll notice the shock will move from that box to another one, and this will be on the right of you, so you need to shoot that one quickly, which is right here, and then after that you're not so much on a time crunch as you can shoot this one without worrying about missing your chance. So the next box you need to shoot is right here on this house on the side here, and then you need to go inside to where we did the second generator, and you want to shoot this fuse box, and then the last one you need to shoot is literally outside the second generator house, and it's going to be right here. And now once you shoot that last fuse box, this door will now open, and you want to just come in and kill this buffoon on the ground and end his misery, and he will drop a piece for you for the wonder weapon that you will need to pick up. The next step is you want to head over to where the Elemental Pop perk machine sits, and if you don't know where that is, just take a look on your minimap or follow where I'm going. So right across the house where the second generator is, you will see this little house here, or I guess shed, with the crafting table, and then you want to open this door right here and keep going down until you enter this building. And beware, because a lot of vermin may spawn, so be on your guard, and just come up to this briefcase here and interact with it, and it will open up, and you just want to interact with it again to pick up the piece, which is the resonator. Now take that piece back to the room we opened by shooting the fuse boxes, and you want to insert the resonator in this machine right here, but you do need to do 2 more things after this. You now have to basically solve a puzzle, or I guess a math problem, in order to input the correct code in this machine, we put the resonator in. Now, first things first, I'm sure you saw this whiteboard right here with these weird shapes. We just need to figure out which of the 3 shapes are in our equation in our game, and yes, it will change each game you play. Now, to do that, you need to interact with 3 laptops, and the first laptop is going to be right outside of the quick revive perk machine's house, and it will be right over here. The second laptop is going to be right outside of the stamina perk machine's house, and it's going to be right over here. The third one's going to be at the bottom right outside of the cave where the speed cola perk machine is, and the cave where the PhD flopper perk machine sits right over here. Now, as you can see, as we interacted with each laptop, the shapes we need to work with show up on the screen. So there is a total of 3 shapes, so don't worry, you don't have to take a picture of it on the laptop or memorize it, as once you have interacted with all 3 laptops, you can go back to the machine we inputted the resonator in, and you just want to interact with it, and it will show each of our shapes in our game right here on these sticky notes. You can take a snapshot here if you want to try to solve it using the whiteboard in the room, and I'm going to be very transparent with you. I failed math. Matter of fact, I failed high school as a whole, so I'm not going to walk you through how to solve this, but if you know, then that's wonderful. Another way you can solve it is by going to Peck's window right here and bribing him with 5,000 essence, but to me that's a ripoff because I'm pretty stingy. But there is word on the street that you can look up a terminus code generator and input the shapes you got in your game and it will solve it for you, but that's just word on the street. What would I know? I flunked high school and here I am. Now, once you solve the code on your machine, you will see that there is a dot on the map that's going between 3 different places on the map. What you need to do once you solve the code is end the round, and it should let you pick up the resonator from the machine, and it should pinpoint you to where you have to go on the machine, and the order of the islands that you have to go to never change no matter the game, so it'll all be the same. So as you can see, it's telling you to travel to the island that's on the top right of the map, and you will need to take a boat to go here. And again, don't forget to pick up the resonator from the machine because you will need it. So the island you're going to be heading to is Castle Rock Island, and once you get there, you will see a blue orb just chilling there, and you want to interact with it, and it will put your resonator down. And what you need to do is wait for this orb to zap a zombie with the blue beam, and you need to either kill the zombie near the orb or just kill the zombie that got zapped, and pick up the blue energy ball that it drops once you kill them by hitting your interact button on it. And then you just need to quickly take it to the blue orb there, and you just need to do it again with 1 more zombie. Now wait for the orb to zap another zombie, and then once it does, kill it, and then pick up the blue energy ball that it drops and take it back to the blue orb. Just in case you're not aware, you will need to hit your interact button again while you're holding the blue energy ball when you take it to the orb to deposit it. Now once you do that, the objective zombies that spawned will now be gone, and the orb will get up and move to the next island you have to go to, and the resonator will be on the ground where you put it, and be sure to pick it up again because you will need it for the next one. The next island that you're going to is going to be called Crab Island, and it's going to be literally the next island you see when you're heading the direction the orb flew towards, and you'll see this orb again on the island, and it should be a green color. And what you need to do now is the same exact step, so just interact with the green orb and put your resonator down, and objective zombies will now spawn, and you need to do the same thing and wait for this orb to zap another zombie with the green beam, and that zombie, just like the last one, will be glowing, but this time will have green aura around it. So just kill it and pick up the green energy it drops by interacting with it, and bring it to the orb and hit your interact button to deposit the energy. And you just want to do this 1 more time, so a total of 2 times, and once you do that, the same thing will happen and the orb will get up and fly away to the last island you need to go to. And don't forget to pick up your resonator again so you can use it for the next and final island. The last island will be literally the only one you haven't traveled to yet, so if you're looking at your TAC map, it will be the one on the top left of the map, and it's called Temple Island. This time you will see a purple orb waiting there for you, and do the same exact thing and interact with it. This one will be harder than the last 2, but it's the exact same idea. Wait for it to zap a zombie with the purple beam, and you just want to kill that zombie and take the energy it drops and deposit it to the orb twice. And once you do that, you will officially be done the challenge, and it should drop an AMP munition on the ground that you need to pick up, and then take the boat back to the main island, and you just want to head back to the room that you solved the math equation in, and bring the pieces to this crafting table and craft the beam smasher, aka the map's wonder weapon. And also be very careful as zombies can easily pile up right behind you even if you're running ether shrouds, so be very quick with it and build it and get the hell out of that tiny ass room. Now that you have the wonder weapon, you literally just need it for this next step. So what you need to do is there are 4 different tentacle traps around the map, like the same traps you'd activate if you want to kill zombies. There's one right beside Peck's office at spawn, there's one at the house where the jug perk machine sits, and then there's the last 2 in the underground lab, literally right across from each other in the same lab. You need to activate the correct trap in your game, and as the trap is operating, you want to shoot the trap where the tentacles are coming out of constantly until a hard drive comes out of it. The way to find out which trap is the right one in your game is to go to each one and prone on the ground and look carefully on the ground right under it, and you might see some debris, but what you're looking for is Dr. Modi's ID card. So it will look like this, and it can be under any one of the 4 traps in your game. So once you see the ID card under the correct trap in your game, that's the one you want to activate, and then as it is active, you just want to shoot it with your beam smasher non-stop towards where the tentacles are coming out of. So make sure you have it reloaded, and if done correctly, a hard drive should pop out, and you just want to pick it up, and that's it for that step. So if you like the beam smasher, then you can keep running it and upgrading it, but if you have another gun in mind or don't like the beam smasher in general and want to get rid of it, then you can absolutely do that, as you no longer need the weapon for the Easter egg quest. Honestly, you're better off with the Mustang and Sally instead of that gun. Now what you want to do is you want to take the hard drive you picked up back to Peck's office and insert it in this mailbox right here by hitting your interact button, and once he gets it, your next step is to find 3 numbers around the map that will change each game, but the spawn locations will stay the same, so it's just the numbers that will change. The first number is going to be in the quick revive room, and you just want to look at this clock in the cage and look at the hour hand and see which hour it's on, and that's going to be your first number. So write it down somewhere or memorize it. The second number is going to be in this shed here where the armory machine is and where the goblin machine machine sits, and it'll be on this playing card right here, so that'll be your second number. The third and final number you're looking for is going to be right across the house where Jug sits on the right of this crafting table, and it'll literally be this number right here. And you have collected all 3 numbers you need before moving on, and be sure to upgrade your gun rarity or pack-a-punch if you can right now, because we will be doing a mini boss fight, sorta. Well, yeah, kinda. Now head back to the lab and interact with this machine right here, and you'll see Maya's brother Nathan trapped in this machine. She doesn't know it yet, but that boy's cooked. Anyways, once you see Nathan in pain inside it, you just want to give it a few seconds and then interact with the keypad on the machine and input your number on the machine. And then once you input the code, you're going to have to go to one of these knobs you see on the chamber. There is a total of 4, and basically this is the part where if you are playing with multiple people up to the 4 players, you will need to cooperate with each other. So if you're playing solo like I am here, then it's nothing complicated, as I just need to hit my interact button and turn this knob to start the mini boss battle. But if you're playing with 2 people or 3 people or 4 in total, then there are a total of 4 knobs on the chamber, and every player present in the game must hit their interact button at the same time in front of one knob and turn at the same time. So make sure you do have proper communication if you do have a full party or multiple people in general. If you're solo, then you have nothing to worry about, and just go on ahead and twist the knob. As this is going to cause a mini lockdown, meaning you cannot leave this room unless you kill Nathan and succeed, or if you get clapped yourself. So once you clap Nathan, a cutscene will start, and it will be a short one. You can watch it or skip it, and then after the cutscene there's going to be a piece you need to dive into the water force. So it'll be on the right of Pack-a-Punch if the platform is there, but even if it's not, you'll know where I'm talking about. Just follow where I jump and you'll see a piece glowing yellow, and just pick it up. Now once you do that, you need to take a boat and ride all the way to the huge cruise ship on the map, and it'll be very hard to miss, but you want to go under the cruise ship right here and stop where you see this ladder, and the door leading to the top of the ladder should automatically open up as you climb the ladder. And once you're in there, you want to pick up one of these canisters, and a lockdown should happen, meaning you just need to survive in there for about a minute or so. And yes, you can put the canister down while doing the lockdown. The Sally and 4th weapon should do you justice in this situation, just as long as you have PhD flopper, but regardless, it shouldn't be too hard. Just as long as you have some semi-competent weapons on you, you're fine. And once the lockdown is over, the door will open, allowing you to leave, and I highly recommend you act fast because it can get dangerous if you stay in there too long. But what you want to do is you want to take one of the canisters with you, and you can only hold one at a time if you're playing solo, or if you're playing with people, then one person can hold each, so it'll be easier for you. But what you need to do is in 2 different spots on the map, there's going to be a broken pipeline that these need to be installed onto to repair. There's only 3 spots that the broken pipeline can be, and you need to install these 2 canisters to 2 of those 3 lines depending on which spot is in your game. The first spot is on Crab Island right over here at the edge of the island, so if you're coming from the cruise ship straight, then it should be on the same side right over here. Refer to my mini map if you're having trouble locating it. The second spot it could be in is right under the water tower at the main island, so the spot where you would buy a boat outside on the main island, it would be right under that tower right over here. The third spot is going to be in the Speed Cola tunnel on the right if you're heading in through this side, and it'll be right over here. So if you're solo, you will need to do it one by one and pick one of the canisters up and install it, and then go back to the cruise ship and pick up the other one and install it on the second broken pipeline. After you're done that, you now need to go over to Peck's office again and make sure you're in front of his window so that a dialogue can occur. Once you hear a dialogue, he will give you a hacking device through the mailbox that we gave him the hard drive, and you just want to pick that up, and you will need to hack 3 different buoys across the map. The spawn spots can be different in each game you play, but ultimately they're all going to be in the water. And what I do is start from the dock on the main island and go in a clockwise circle, so it's a lot easier. Now these 3 buoys are basically like these mini antennas on the water, and what you need to do is take a boat and go up to each one as I'm doing here, and you need to go up to the first one and stand out from your boat and hit and hold your interact button right in front of the buoy, and it should start to hack, and then after that you will be on a time crunch to hack the remaining 2. So like I advised, it will be really hard to miss, but go in a clockwise direction around the map, and you will see the next one and do the same thing and stop the boat right in front of it and start hacking it by hitting and holding your interact button, and then keep going down the direction you're going, and you want to do the same thing for the last buoy, and then that's it for that step. If done correctly, you should see a flash on your screen, and this next step is a real time crunch. So remember when I said that I'd advise Ether Shroud and Idolize on your loadout? This is where it will really count, because if you screw this next step up, you will then lose the game. I'm not kidding. Head back to the lab as fast as you can, because what you need to do next is defuse 3 bombs that Dr. Modi activated because we're so close to smoking her. Once you head back to the lab, you'll see a time limit that you have to defuse the 3 bombs, and if you're playing solo, this is actually really hard because these bombs take quite some time to defuse. I think about 15 seconds each, and there will be zombies attacking you. Decoys, Casimirs, Ether Shrouds, preferably 2 charges, and Idolize will be your best friend right now. Don't pop them all at once if you have them all, obviously. What I usually do is for the first one, I throw a decoy as far as I can and start defusing the first bomb, and then for the second one, I'll just pop an Ether Shroud literally right before I start defusing the second bomb, because the bomb being defused would take longer than the Ether Shroud is active, and same for the third bomb. Idolize can be a last resort, and you can defuse any of these 3 bombs first. There is no specific order, it's whatever's easier for you, because this step itself is hard enough. The first bomb is going to be on the platform right on top of the perk machine Melee Macchiato. Literally, if you run across the top platform, it will be right over here, and you just want to defuse that. The second one is going to be on the bottom platform of where the first bomb was, and it's going to be right beside this ammo crate right over here, so just defuse that one. The third one is literally going to be on the same platform, just on the opposite side. So since the bomb is on the right side, stay on the same platform and level and head all the way to the left, and it'll be right over here, and you just want to defuse that one, and you are all done. If done successfully, you will hear some dialogue and your screen will flash white, and that's actually it. You are now ready to go on to the boss fight. To enter this boss fight, you just need to head to this door right over here and hit your interact button, and it will start the final encounter vote. And if you're solo, obviously you'll just jump straight into the cutscene and then begin the boss fight. To make this boss fight a lot easier for you, I highly recommend that you go in with pack 3 weapons and legendary rarity as well while we're at it. And the weapons I recommend are the Maelstrom shotgun and the Salient Fort. The shotgun will go to town with the boss Patient 13, and the Salient Fort will be wonderful for crowd control, and it's not too bad in regards to the extra zombies coming after you. Now, as you can see, the first phase of this boss fight, you will see a red bubble on the boss, and you just want to spray that spot as much as you can until he attempts to attack you. And when he does raise his hand to slam the arena and attack you, you need to either get behind these two things in the back. As you can see, there's one on each side, so hide behind those when he does those attacks, or you can go as extreme as jumping in the water, but I don't think it's that serious. Just don't get hit by that slam attack. The first phase, that's the only attack you will do, so I would just run laps back and forth, as in side to side from each hiding spot. So spray the red bubble on whichever side it's on, as it can move from his left side to his right side and vice versa. And if it looks like he's about to attack, just take cover, and also be aware that you can use his attacks to your advantage, as when he does those slamming attacks, the zombies that are in the area that he hits, even manglers and special enemies in general, can get killed by him. So use that to your advantage and keep shooting the red bubble, and when he gets to about 2/3 of his life left, then he will retreat, and you have now completed the first phase of the 3 phases in total. You'll just have to clear out some zombies until he returns. So when he returns, you'll see that his whole body is scorching like it just got cooked or something, and his weak point now is going to be his mouth. So you want to keep spraying his mouth, and then as you keep spraying his mouth, eventually halfway through the phase, his new weak point is going to go to his arms. You will see that there is no red herpes bubble on him anymore, and that the herpes bubbles are now on both of his arms, and it's colored greenish yellow. So now his tentacles are your main targets. You just want to shoot those bubbles on his tentacles as much as you can, and eventually one will pop, and then after that you just want to get rid of the other one by spraying it as much as you can. Typically, if he isn't at 1/3 of his life by that point, his red herpes bubble may come back on his body. Just shoot it until his life bar goes away and he retreats for the third and final phase. This third and final phase is the hardest, as he does do more different attacks along with what he's already been bringing to the table. So he has this one hit move that you need to be very careful about. So when he turns blue and starts doing this, you need to get behind cover like one of these two hiding spots and stay there until he's done that attack, because when he charges it up and he lets it explode, it kills everything in sight, including zombies and special zombies. So get behind cover and kill any zombie that's bothering you on the side, because they will try to corner you and make you come out of hiding. And you can also get underwater to avoid getting hit by this attack, and make sure that you're not just in the water treading with your head above water. Get underwater until his attack finishes, because it will for sure one hit kill you. When he's charging that explosive attack, if you want to be brave, you can shoot as much as you want at his head, and if you shoot and damage him enough, you can actually break his charge and he won't complete that attack. He also does another attack where he puts his tentacles on the top of the arena and starts sticking his tongue out and try to swallow you. It doesn't usually mean you're dead, but if he does get you, you can be heavily damaged, and it is possible to get down from it. So avoid his tongue when he does that, because it goes side to side. He's a freak with it. Anyways, during the third phase, your main target is his head, so you just want to keep spraying his head, and that will be his weakest point. I do know that in some instances, if it's taking too long to kill him for you, sometimes you might regain those weird bubbles around his tentacles or the red herpes bubble on his body. So if at any point you do see that on his body, don't hesitate and just start spraying at those, and I know that you will for sure conquer this boss battle. And once you do, you will see him John like the little bitch he is, and that's it. You have completed the Terminus Easter egg and defeated the boss fight. Don't forget to do a little emote with the generous amount of time they've given us until the cutscene occurs. In case you haven't seen the cutscene yet, I won't show you all, but most importantly, thank you all for watching. If this guide helped you out, then please go on ahead and hit that like button and smash that subscribe button for more Call of Duty Zombies content. Even if you don't want to smash that subscribe button anyways, I won't tell anyone, and I promise you'll come along in the future. And if you had any difficulties or questions in regards to the guide or any feedback in general, even if you want to tell me that I'm a few months late to the party, you know exactly where to do that, and leave it in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to get to it as soon as I can, or maybe not. I don't know, no promises. Again, thank you all for watching, listening, viewing, liking, and subscribing, and like I always say, until the next time, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.